We have another person coming in. We have Judith. Welcome, Judith. I'm just getting ready to start up here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is Pamela Marie Edmunds. Ooh, tongue-tied there. And welcome to Love Never Dies radio show here on Zoom, broadcast from the Red Rocks of Sedona, Arizona. Gorgeous. If you have not been out here, put it on your bucket list. Please put it on your bucket list. And just remember, the energies are high here. We've got a lot of wonderful, the red rock, which is, I believe, iron ore. We've got a lot of energy vortexes. And we got quite a big flux of people who are spiritually awake, healers and whatnot. So anyway, and I am your host again, Pamela Marie Edmunds. I am a medium, trance medium, and a mental medium. I am a animal communicator, a pet detective, and a international radio show host. And I host this show, and I host a second show. Thursday nights is All Animals Deserve Love. And it's a fairly new show. I have been doing Love Never Dies a little bit longer, but I also was doing another show called Bridge Between Two Worlds. Goes way back to 2001, and it originated out here in Arizona. For those of you who don't know, I am an East Coaster. You might be able to tell my voice. I'm originally from Massachusetts. And Arizona, I'm going to say there's a soul connection. Okay, it's a soul connection. I personally had come out here back in 2000, 2001 when I had the first show. And I drove cross country with a friend. And before I got there, I knew I was going to be staying there. Knew that I would be moving there. So I did move back. It was short life, a couple of years, but then I, how do you get homesick back east for a bit? So I've been here almost 5 years now, and understand why every time I used to see the Red Rocks, I would get teary. I would start crying. So anyway, but my mediumship journey, I have been a medium, practicing medium now since probably 2000. Yeah, about 2000. And I've learned a lot of my gifts within the place called the Spiritualist Churches, which, if you're not familiar with them, there are a number of them across this country. And basically, they have a belief in the continuity of life, which is that we continue after the process called death. And that essence, that spirit of who we are, many of us who are sensitive are capable of communicating, receiving some sort of communication, guidance, whatever, to prove that they are here and that they still survive. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So I do this show weekly, both shows weekly, and all the information, if you're looking to check up on the show and you can't find it on Facebook, I do post these shows on Facebook. All the information is going to be on my website, and that's PamelaMarieEdmunds.com. So like if a couple weeks from now you say, gee, I wonder what Pamela's doing for her Love Never Dies. If you go into my website and you look for the page for Love Never Dies, you'll find the information to get yourself into the Zoom room here. And you'll find out who is a guest, or if I'm doing the show myself, what the topic is. So, and always looking for some suggestions. So if you have any ideas of some great guests, please let me know. The animal show, All Animals Deserve Love. That one, I'm still kind of figuring out the direction. And as you can probably understand, I'm very much spirit-led, spirit-guided. I wouldn't be living in Sedona, Arizona if it weren't for my guides. I would not be doing these shows if it wasn't. and they give me guidance and support. Matter of fact, tonight, originally, I was going to have a wonderful medium from New Hampshire, Amy Major, and sadly, she had to cancel because of health issues with a family member that she had to address. She had to be a part of, so to speak. And I had just created the Facebook announcement. And literally, when her message popped up in the private message, I was getting ready to cut and paste it to her. Well, she's going to come back again. I'm going to get her to come back again. She's going to do a discussion about her. I believe she's got 2 books now, Rescue Mediumship. So she'll be back. But it's like, okay, now I've got 2 shows. I haven't a clue about what the topics are supposed to be. And I don't know how good you if you happen to be like me, you get things in the middle of the night, you get guidance. Keep a notebook nearby, ladies, okay? Keep a notebook and pen, or maybe even a flashlight. I keep a flashlight there too. That way I can see what I'm trying to write, so I can then go back to sleep. But I had asked for guidance. I says, what am I going to do for shows here? I'm already scheduled. I'm going to be doing a solo show next week. Actually, on both shows. Next week is the week I will be doing readings. Be doing mediumship readings here on this show, and then I'll be doing pet readings on this second show. Okay, so I wake up a couple mornings ago, and the answers came to me, and the exact wording is exactly what I did. Tonight's show is, are you a medium? Okay, and tomorrow night's show is your pet a healer? Those came through. They're written side by side on my notepad. So I thought and thought, and I said, okay, I get it. I understand. So here I am, a medium, leading the show or hosting this show. And I can tell you some of my experiences about being a medium, but I would like to hear some of your possibilities, because the bottom line is we are all capable of being a medium. Did you know that? Every single one of us is capable of being a medium. Okay. And what is a medium? I gave part of the definition a little bit ago, didn't I? It's an individual in the physical form who is sensitive to spirit energies, but you're also sensitive to emotions and other energies on the planet. Okay. Like right now, anybody who's highly sensitive is probably picking up some of the sorrow and some of the confusion that many people are going through right now with the COVID-19. Okay. Why is it 19? That one I never figured out. COVID, I get that, but why 19? But anyway, that's what it is. So, how did I start figuring out I was a medium? I'm going to start there, okay? And then we're going to go with see what you might have to say, and see if there's anybody else who comes in to join us, okay? As I said, it was back in the 90s before I actually realized I had any sort of abilities. Now, I apologize. One early about time, late 80s, I'm going to say 88, I had the opportunity of creating a trip to Hawaii, and that was from Massachusetts. Still married and a daughter, and the 3 of us went to Hawaii. I was blown away by all the flowers, the wonderful tropical green, and it used to shower every night a little bit. Just before everybody went to bed, it was like a late afternoon shower to sprinkle water on them, okay? Well, of course, we were tourists, never been there before. And one of the places we went was Pearl Harbor. And if you're not familiar, in Pearl Harbor, there is a memorial to the SSS Arizona. Okay? And what is that? That's one of the ships that went down during the bombing of Pearl Harbor, right? And many, many people died on it. Okay? The way the memorial is set up, it's literally a concrete, it's a building that sits on the water, hovering over where the ship lies. Okay? And you can actually see bubbles once in a while come up from the ship. Okay? Even after how many years? It's been quite a long time. Well, here I am, tourist, with husband and daughter, and I had these horrible feelings I was getting from being there. I didn't understand what it was at the time. This was before. This is my earliest time to really being awake in regards to spirit energies. I do believe that I probably was very sensitive to other people's energies early on in regards to an angry father, um, a sister who used to act out. I mean, all of these different things. But I had no clue. Okay? I didn't have a clue. The experience at Pearl Harbor, I held that in the back of my head. Obviously, I didn't have anybody to share it with. And it wasn't until the early 90s when I stepped into um, groups of spiritual people in and around people who practice mediumship, psychics, healers, and then understood. It says, Pamela, you were waking up. You sense that because, first off, you were supposed to. And so that was one of my experiences. Another one, I'm driving down one of the interstate highways oh, in Massachusetts area, and I looked in my, you're driving and you're checking forward, and you're just sort of keeping your eye on the road, right? Maybe you've got a little music going, whatever. But I turned to look in my rearview mirror, and I literally saw somebody walking across the road. This is an interstate. Well, I was going to say it's at least three. At the time, it was at least 3 lanes. I was seeing a spirit crossing the road, and he was dressed something like a oh god, he was in men's work clothes, is what I'll call it. Okay, all right, whether he was carpenter or some labor or something of that nature. Okay, and he I, he was directly across, and I'm like, what the heck is that? Then I can't remember the exact date, but I was living in a town called Wareham, Massachusetts, and this was probably about, oh, okay, I'm going to say it was about 92 or 94 in that ballpark. Okay, and I worked in retail, so I had to dress up. Okay, and little heels, a dress, and the house I'm living in has this steep set of stairs. Okay, and I can be a rusher. I can, well, somehow or another, I started sliding down those stairs on my butt. Okay. I think my ego was more bruised than my body. All right. But, and of course, the dress I'm wearing, if I remember it exactly, it was white with print colored in it. So, of course, I'm going to have to change. But as I'm lying on the ground at the bottom of the stairs, I heard loud and clear my name. I picked my head up a little and I looked around. There was nobody there. There's a house on both sides. Across the street, I'm actually just up from the hospital, the local hospital, Toby Hospital. I believe they may have changed the name now, as a lot of them have. I could not see anybody. But it was just like someone was checking in on me, letting me know they were watching and that I was going to be okay, right? I now understand it's what you call direct voice. I heard it outside of me. I didn't hear it in my mind. Okay? You know how you have that your voice, the voice in your mind. I didn't hear it that way. I heard it outside of me as if it was coming from an actual person. Now, these are all kind of unique things to happen. What I want to say is it's right about a time that I started making some changes in my life. The man I went to Hawaii with, I divorced in 1994. We had separated in 92. He had a lot of rage. That was what I was attracted to. And I couldn't be around that. I was waking up and was too sensitive to be around that kind of energy. But I also needed time to work with me, take care of me. And eventually was drawn to, I mentioned this briefly with Denise. I think Judy may have heard this before too. I was drawn to a spiritualist church. If you've never been to a spiritualist church, be open and try it out sometime, okay? Mediums will be giving messages from the platform. What you might call a sermon, we would call a talk or a sharing, and it would be something spiritual, something that would be of interest to people. Well, my sister invited me to go one time, and I had never meditated. I had never been involved in any of this, but it was a place I needed to be so I could start to develop and start listening to spirit. So since those days, I still get more and more new things. I'm going to say that new things do happen, but hey, we're growing, right? We continue to grow. And what ends up happening if you are a medium is you'll start with a couple guides, okay? And they're going to be like first grade teachers, okay? Then as you grow within the work you're doing, but also spiritually, then you get teachers from the next grades up, okay? It keeps going up. And for me, right now, my newest teacher, and he was here, is my cat, Sylvester. And Sylvester and I receive telepathically, okay? I have to be in just the right state to receive. Just like mediumship, you need to be in a higher state of consciousness, just as those from above, I say above, well, those from the higher realms, and what I'm going to mean by above, those from the spirit realm, they lower their vibration to us. So my teacher is the cat, which is wonderful, but we all continue as we grow to learn more and more. So tonight's show is obviously, are you a medium? I'm going to say I claim that, okay? But I want to see what our other listeners here can share. Because you obviously were drawn to the title of the show, and that's why I specifically make the title for what the content is, okay? Who would like to share a little bit? Anybody had any experiences that have been somebody who's not into any of this might call them woo woo or something, or I don't know what else you call it. But Judy, you got your mic undone?
Right. Well, I've had several experiences. I do not call myself a medium. At one time, I was studying more and was leaning more that way, but then later on, I backed off, and it really wasn't where I wanted to go. But things happen that you really have no control over. I've heard the audible too. I've heard that. I've had my name called to wake me up. And oh, and you were talking about the COVID-19. It's 19 because it was discovered in 2019. So that's where
Oh,
the,
okay. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. But you see why I questioned it? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That.
And two, when you went to the museum there, and my sister lived in Hawaii for a while. When you went to the war memorial, there on the, I would imagine that the emotion from years and years and years of grief and grieving in that area, you were already sensitive anyway, so you were really absorbing all of that.
Well, my sense it was people who had come to visit before, but also some of the people who may have been still earthbound inside that ship.
Who had they probably didn't even know what happened,
No, no,
and are
no.
still there.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, right. So, and I know you do get communication, or you do have sensing of Bo being around you. That wonderful picture on the back wall.
Oh,
That
Boo! Yes,
oh,
Boo.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Boo. For a while, Boo was with me constantly. Now he comes and goes, but he's still with me a lot.
Well, that's another form of mediumistic
Uh huh.
ability. It's to sense. It's called clear sentience.
Right.
You're sensing the fit. Well, you're sensing the spirit body, the etheric body of it's Boo or Bo?
Boo.
Boo.
Like Halloween, Boo.
Well, he's a ghost.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't usually use the term ghost in that way.
It was funny. It's
It just fit.
Halloween.
It just fit. It
It
just
did
fit.
fit. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
born October 31st. So,
Oh, really? No
yeah.
wonder.
So he was born on, like my brother was born on Halloween too. So, but
Okay.
we don't call him Boo.
Okay. So, would you say that you've been sensitive your whole life?
Yes, yes. When I was a child, I remember telling mother when I would look at other people's pictures, I knew and didn't think much about it. I knew who was no longer living in those pictures. I would know immediately who was gone and who was still here, and didn't think anything about it. I think most children assume everybody does that, or
Yes.
and
Yes.
so I can remember. And see, this is the worst thing. And mother later on told me she was sorry. The worst thing parents can do when the child says this: "I saw someone. I spoke to someone. I know who's dead in pictures." And mother said, "No, that's only because most of the pictures are old and faded, and most of those people have passed on." And later she apologized for doing that because it kind of puts the damper on your growth. You think, oh, maybe mother's right.
Right. Right. Yeah. And the other thing here that I touched on, didn't get into too much detail, is us picking up on energies from other people, anger,
Uh-huh.
sorrow.
You're very
Always.
sensitive to that, I think.
Have you been sensitive to that?
I think you are
Well,
more than I.
okay. Okay. Well, that is part of the clear sentience.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Being extra sensitive. It's a clear feeling. It's feeling. Yeah, yeah. And like right now, there's a lot of emotion going on this planet. A lot of people are confused. A lot of things have been turned upside down. We understand there's a bigger picture here. We don't, or we need to understand there's a bigger picture here, but we're still going to go through it all.
Right.
Okay, we're still going to go through it all. So, okay. Well, thank you, Judy. Let me see if our other audience lady in the audience, Denise, has anything she'd like to share.
Should I unmute it like I just did?
Yes, you unmuted me
Okay.
you perfectly. Yes.
I've always had, even as a child, it's like I just knew if somebody said something, I just knew what was going to happen. Um, Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but then people would make me feel like I was out of my mind. Like, how do you know that? And you think you know everything, but it would come true. And then I just don't know. It's so many different things, and I can feel like people's, like you were saying, anger. Like my grandson, for instance, just the other day for a week, I knew something was wrong. It's like, what's wrong? Nothing, Nana, nothing. It's like something is wrong. What's wrong? And he was having stomach issues, and he had a kidney stone. He didn't know it. I didn't know it. So I took him to the doctor, and he said he's got just one kidney stone.
That's
And
painful.
very, but I mean, he handled it like a young man and just wouldn't show me any distress. But I knew, I
How
just
old is
knew.
he? How old is he, Denise?
He turned 18.
Oh, okay. That's kind of the age too. It's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but things like that, like um the husband with drunk drivings, it's like I knew it was going to happen. It was a matter of time, but I knew it. And just different things, so many different things. It's just like, Lord, please don't tell me no more. You're whoever.
Well, and what I do want to say here, I have had people share with me that they they would get a premonition, which is something of the future.
That's the word. Okay.
Premonition of a particular person getting in an accident or dying, and it's like, what the heck do I do with something like that? That's quite a heavy burden if you take it as a burden.
People think I'm nuts, Pamela, but when I was like 8 months pregnant, I started out of bed, sat straight up and cried uncontrollably. I said, Randy, I said, our son's going to die. And he said, what the fuck are you talking about? Sorry about the language. And I didn't know I was having a boy because they didn't do that back then. And I
Right.
said, he's going to die. And I got goosebumps up and down. It's like it was that day. And he did. He ended up dying. But it was when he was an infant. But it's just like, why was I warned about this? And I always had it in the back of my head. And it's just strange.
And first I want to say I'm sorry to hear about your loss. I mean, that was a number of years
Well,
ago.
thank you.
That was
Yeah,
a number of years ago. And I bet he's around a lot too. And
I hope so. I think I
yeah,
feel him.
yep, yep. So, but what I wanted to say was when you first off, it's showing you that your psychic ability, your intuitive ability is on is on high. It's very, very you can trust it. It's truth. Okay. All right.
Now I do, but I didn't then.
Correct. Right. But the other thing I was in the process of heading towards was to say that for people who are hearing something that's bad and they're concerned about it, if you believe in prayer, maybe that's part of what it is. For you to send some healing prayers to that situation, that individual or individuals. Yeah. Um, And as I'm talking about that, I'm feeling to share something with you. We all have few unique stories to share in regards here. Um, I have a dear sister, Lori, Laurie, who took her life back in 1975.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
thank you. And she was very troubled, very troubled. She was the one that acted out in the family. She's the one that got all the negative attention, and well, she took her life. But when I started getting involved spiritually, waking up spiritually, and coming in around the spiritual people, the church, the mediumship, I was sitting in classes, etc. Um, I had a dream Lori was in. And just to let you know, those are visitations. Okay. Your loved ones coming into a dream is no fluke. All right. Right. Thank you. Okay. And in her dream, and this is the way I described it to a friend, and I actually figured it out. She was being chased by the devil. And she was coming to me because I had God and she needed some healing. It was quite powerful. Okay. And to understand your dreams is another great tool, because a lot of times they are very psychic.
Vivid.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're what's the word I use? Premonitions, right? You know. But she was stuck between the two planes. Okay. Because she had passed in such a traumatic way.
Mhm.
All right. All she wanted to do was deaden the pain that she was feeling.
Yeah.
And that's most people, okay? Most people have some major emotional issues going on when they take their life, okay? They're not there to hurt the rest of us. They just want
No.
to stop
Right.
it themselves, okay? But that was a pretty powerful experience too with spirit, I will say. And I was still newly into it. So it was something that it really touched me my heart. And I remembered it very much so, because Lori and I'm the oldest, Lori's number two. And you know how you end up kind of buddying up with the next individual in the family, and you end up, well, she was my root buddy, my bedroom buddy. Okay.
Aw.
Yeah, she was my first friend. So anyway, but I felt to just share that. That's another way spirit can come through. And I don't know if it's necessarily want to say it's because I'm a medium, but I was awake enough that I could help her. Okay. I was awake enough to help her. And another word that's come to mind here while we've been talking, while you've been sharing on tonight's show here, is the word empath. And many people are empaths. What is an empath? Well, it's being sensitive to other energies. Um, Being empathic is you're caring. You have this draw to support somebody else, help them through whatever they're going through. That's a piece of the mediumship, okay? Because you need to be sensitive. That's a highly sensitive individual. And that's how our spirit loved ones or somebody else's spirit loved ones can come through and let us know they're there. Whether it's a message or it's a touch or it's a vision, whatever. It's all It's all part of it. It is all clearly part of it. So, um, let's see. Anything else you'd like to share, Denise?
Well, I'm fairly new at this. This is like validation, and I like
Okay.
this.
Okay.
So I guess start slowly. So
Right. Good. Good. Well, didn't you and I do a session or something recently?
yes,
Okay. That's
yes.
why your name was very familiar. So, okay.
Oh,
Wonderful. Yeah. I can't remember. Was that mediumship or yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay. Nice.
It was a very good session.
Good. Good. Good.
I still have to do my review. It's like I've been busy around here, but I'm going to get to it. Let me tell you.
If you can, that'd be great. If not, yeah.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, and for
Definitely.
people who are wondering what we're talking about is my website is got pages for the radio shows, but I also have pages on the services I do. There's also some links of some videos there, and the videos are some of the shows, but also some of the work that I do, mediumship, and I do also do some trance work too. So,
What's that? Transfer.
um,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. I'm supposed to mention it. Uh, it's another type of mediumship. And basically, when you think of trance, okay, a medium is in an altered state. Okay. All right. A medium is in an altered state. That's where I mentioned we raise our vibration to spirit and spirit lowers theirs to us, right? So, and that's usually done through meditation, okay? And meditation could be out for a walk in nature because that raises your vibration too. Or being in the bathtub. Water is another conductor in relation to this. But we're always in some kind of a little bit of a trance state. When you're driving in the car, aren't you in a little bit of an altered state?
Yeah.
Yep. How about watching TV or trying to pull a grandson or somebody else away from the TV or the computer? They're in an altered state. They're tuned into that. Okay. So trance mediumship is where a medium goes into a state of trance. Okay. And
Oh.
it can be numerous different levels. Um, for me, it started with a light trance, and as I have grown and changed, it's gotten deeper and deeper. Okay, which means I'm getting out of the way. I'm getting out of the way of whomever is going to speak through me. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah.
And then, of course, what they call a deep trance, which is a trance where you have no clue what's going on. You just exit, so to speak, but you're safe. That's the deepest type of trance. At
But you remembered?
deep trance, you don't remember. Others
Oh,
you would subtly. It's like I mentioned a dream. You remember some things from a dream. And after a while, after you awake, the dream drifts away.
right.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, but excuse me. So mediumship is, are you a medium? I would say both you and Judy have mediumistic abilities. And I want to say many people, as we do mature, I like that better. Okay, as we do mature, and we do find that intuition, those abilities do get enhanced a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And like I said, we're all capable of doing so. Just that there's like there's the pianist, there's the classical pianist, and then there's the kid that just ping 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 on the piano. Same idea with mediumship. All right. Same idea. So anyway, but yeah. So Any comments or questions here? We've still got another, I got another about 15 minutes I'd like to put towards the show here. It's always nice if we get a good group, but we don't all, you never know. You never know.
Can we invite people?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, we can.
Oh,
Okay.
yep. Just make sure they get a copy of the information to get into Zoom. That's the biggest deal. Yep. You're welcome to bring people in, because basically this is open to the public. When I posted on Facebook, it's public, and I've had a few people showing up that I've never heard of or seen before. It's still getting it out there. But the other thing, if you wanted to share tonight's recording, if somebody, a friend or somebody hear this conversation, or if you wanted to re-listen to some of it yourself, I have a YouTube page.
Oh.
Okay, and that's Pamela Marie Edmunds. Okay, and I will be like right now, the show is recording. And once we close out, once I close out the show, it's got a little bit of a process it needs to do here at Zoom, and then I will upload it to YouTube, and then I post it on Facebook for people. So, but there's other videos there too. It's fairly new. I think I've got about maybe 15 or 20 videos in there now. Okay. So, but it's an opportunity for people to revisit what went on. But it's also an opportunity for people to become aware of the work I'm doing or a guest is doing, and to hear even some of the information that you've shared as part of your experience, Judy too. And I chuckled. Judy's Boo picture right there. Can't miss him. And he's a lively character is what I want to say. He's a lively character. So
that dog looks so happy. And in
yeah.
that picture, it just looks like it's full of life and just joy.
Yep. He's definitely got a big smile on his face, doesn't he? Yeah. So, well, let's see. Okay. Far as a medium, so okay, there's another part of this. If you wanted to pursue mediumship development, there are many ways to do that. There are many different people who have classes. And it's about you picking and choosing if you're comfortable with the teacher who's teaching that particular class. Okay. And I will share, I am in process of getting together a 4-week mediumship course. It is sitting here right next to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I will be posting it. It's going to be it's mediumship unlocking the door to the spirit world. It's going to be 4 weeks. And that is going to be, I believe I'm going to put it in the beginning of November, 4 weeks in November, just before Thanksgiving. So that might be something you might be interested in, or down the road, just attending some single classes just to try them out, whatever. But mediumship development, people are becoming mediums quicker now. First off, the energies are higher, and then we've got the higher vibration of the planet, and the list goes on, and people are more spiritually awake. But it still takes time to sit and to develop, to practice, to learn to trust what you're receiving. And just like for me, I've learned to trust my guides. The title of tonight's show here, Are You a Medium? That came straight in from one of my guides. And as long as it feels good, long as it feels right, I'll accept it. Okay. So, and let's see, what else did I share here? Before I forget, I want to make sure people know that my website for if they want to connect to me for services, or if they want to get information on the shows, is PamelaMarieEdmunds.com. Okay. PamelaMarieEdmunds.com. Okay. And I will be posting, matter of fact, the mediumship class. It's, I believe, right now I'm feeling like it's going to be the first week of November. I was thinking of starting it for this month, a couple of weeks in this month, but there is a time change. And I felt that that was going to be confusing. The time gets changed on November 1st. And where I live in Arizona here, we don't change time, the clocks. So that I felt was going to be confusing. So anyway, but if you're interested, you know, get in touch with me or respond once I get the event up. It'll be posted up on internet. It'll also be posted on my website. So anyway, and if you have further questions, let me know. So let's see, what else can we discuss here? Feel like everything that's being discussed is of importance. I do want to, for some reason, say that one of the important things about mediumship is that it's not something to play with. Yes, it can be fun, it can be humorous. It can also be pretty darn serious. Okay. Okay. And it's something that we have to honor and respect.
Whatever you want to do.
So if you have interest in developing mediumship, that's important. That's really important to think about. Okay. And the other piece I mentioned about doing a prayer at the beginning of the show. Prayer is very important. Prayer is a intention, but it's also protection. Okay. And when we work with the spirit world, we need to be working with energies that are of love and light. We don't want to be working with any of these dark energies. Okay. And that's another piece about, as a medium, being positive as much as you can, because like attracts like. So you want positive energies around you. And that also ties to, I may have mentioned briefly, my work with spirit has really taken off, but part of it has been about me working on me. Okay. Me releasing any past hurts, anger, any of that heavy stuff, fear-based, right?
Makes sense.
Okay. So it's a journey of growth. Okay. And it's not something to take, what's the word I want to say? It's something to be serious about. Okay. Very serious about. So, you're okay, Judy. You get this. So if you want to, this will be up for recording if you want to listen again to what went on. So basically, we've been talking a little bit about the other side of the coin here is, if you're a medium, what do you do about it?
Mm-hmm.
And about finding some sort of a development circle with a teacher that you respect and you honor. And then on top of that, I did happen to mention to Denise that I have a 4-week mediumship class that'll be starting up the beginning of November.
Okay.
I'm almost finished with it written up but it's got to be
Uh,
put on Facebook. Mediumship, unlocking the door to the spirit world.
oh, that's good.
And so basically, I'll give you a lot of the groundwork. People who are new are welcome, or people who are who've been doing this for a bit are welcome too. Because what happens is all of us as teachers tend to work a little differently, and we're capable, therefore, of giving students information in various levels. Okay,
That's right.
various
Yeah.
levels. So, any comments, Judy? Did you have anything else? I know you got distracted. I hope everything's okay.
Oh, and my sister's in the hospital, and she's been in the hospital for quite a while. So my niece was calling me to fill me in on some information.
Okay. Well, sounds to me like we need to send your sister some prayer.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah. What's your sister's first name?
Sandra.
Sandra. Okay. Okay. We'll just. Is it COVID? Or
No.
Is it cancer?
She's had several surgeries, yes, and several treatments, and but she's doing really well now.
Okay,
She's
good.
improving every day.
Good. I feel like people are trying to shield her from the COVID.
They are, yes, definitely.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
And that's one thing I was mentioning to my niece when I was on the phone about we don't want her to be in any environment where she might come in contact with COVID. So,
Well, yeah. And that's another whole story. So, so back to mediumship.
yes.
Today's show is Are You a Medium? Next week's show is Messages of Love from Heaven, where everybody who, or as many people as possible. I never know how many people are going to be on. If we just have a couple, I'll be able to get to everybody. But if we have a lot, that'll be different. I'll get some messages from loved ones to everybody who's.
It was a big group about the dogs.
Pardon, dear?
Well, it was a big group about the dogs, finding
yeah.
dogs, taking care. Is his name Doug?
Oh, Donald?
Donald, right.
Yes, Donald. Yep.
He had a lot of love in him.
Oh yeah, yep.
Oh.
He's interested in this area too. But he's been a advocate for animals for years, and a lot of work there. And next week, okay, so tomorrow night is All Animals Deserve Love, same time, different numbers to get in, but they stay the same for the show, same show from week to week.
Right.
They're making sense.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right. But tomorrow night is going to be, is your pet a healer? And that could be a pet that's still alive. That could be a pet that's still alive, or a pet that you had previously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had more than one.
Yes. And that smile on that picture there of Boone is just infectious. It's like this big smile. So, anyway, but and next week's All Animals Deserve Love on Thursday night will be messages from your pets. Okay. And that can be one or the other. That can be either still living here or on the other side. You can bring the pet with you if the pet's in your house, or you can bring a picture of the pet. Whatever works best for you. So
We don't have to go far from my picture.
oh well, your picture's all with you, dear Gare. Yeah. So was there something else that you wanted to share, Judy, or I mediumship?
Oh, I could sit here and chatter all night, but no, I think that's
Okay. And Denise, did you have something else that you wanted to?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I mean, It was nice meeting Judy and Pamela. I love you. Nice seeing you again.
Yeah.
Thank you for all this information. I love it.
Right. And so Denise is in Wisconsin. Judy, Maine?
Georgia.
Georgia. I'm sorry.
I'm
Georgia.
always the only Southerner.
I know. Yep. Right. We got nobody from the East Coast here today, or the New England area. Usually we have at least one or two people from New England. That's okay. So, okay. And this show, amongst the others, will be put into the YouTube channel. I will be posting it once it's completed its process. And please feel free to share it. Matter of fact, Denise asked, she said, can I invite somebody to one of your shows? I says, please do.
Well, I invited 2 different times tonight. So,
yep.
For this show. So.
And Judy's been quite a regular coming in, and she's got a lot of interest, and then a lot of people that show up. We know some way or another. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. So, but please feel free to share, when the video's up. But this is Pamela. And yes, matter of fact, Denise, I was being reminded that I did a mediumship reading for her within the past month, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a great reading. I mean, you spot on.
Good. Glad to hear that. But I mean, if please, if you're not up to writing a little written referral, which we talked about, please feel free to share some of my videos and let people hear me do some mediumship work too. And so that would be great. But and as I said, I will be doing a meeting. I'm being drawn to get some classes going, and I'm more or less trusting spirit. And this particular mediumship, Unlocking the Door to the Spirit World, is a title I used a few years ago. And I got it from Spirit, I believe. I love the title. And I will share how things happen. I was on the massage table yesterday, my time. And while I'm in that space, and I'm going to say Spirit downloaded to me the information about doing this class. How many weeks, title of it, some ideas of what can be done in each separate class, the format, the whole bit. I mean, I've done mediumship classes for a number of years. Even the price of what to charge. So I'm like, okay, all right. This only came through yesterday. So I've got the partial flyer here going, and still kind of editing. So anyway, but that's how spirit works. Once you get to the point of trusting spirit, whether you sit in classes or not, they're going to keep giving you valid information to help you. Okay? That's one of the gifts of mediumship. One of the other gifts of mediumship, and I feel neat, is it is comforting to us as human beings, especially when we're in the middle of grief, having lost a loved one. Okay? And the importance of that experience. I know a number of times people who I've sat with to do a message, and this was something I wouldn't have known if Spirit hadn't given me the information, but they're carrying guilt in regards to the individual who passed, that they didn't do enough. They should have been there. The list goes on and on. And Spirit will address that to help them release that, because that kind of locks them into a horrible place, and that's not what we want. We want people to be. That's so important. So anyway, and what I want to say here before I close up is why does I mentioned a couple of reasons of why we have spirit communication mediumship, but the key is it's love. All about love. Because they love us and they want to help us. that love bond still continues between us. And I feel like it's interesting. That's a word that I use in both shows. Love never dies, and all animals deserve love. Love truly is that higher vibration. And that's the reason for us having these abilities, because our guides love us, they want to help us. Our loved ones, they want us to know that they're there. And the list goes on and on. So I want to thank you, ladies, for coming in tonight. And I want to thank anybody else who might be listening to this recording in the future. And as I am Pamela Marie Edmunds, and this particular show, Love Never Dies, will be on again next week. And we'll be doing a live once a month show, the once a month show, Messages of Love from Heaven. Okay. And the Thursday night show, All Animals Deserve Love, will be the Messages from Your Pets. That's another once a month show. So anyway. All right. Thank you all for being here, and you have a great night. Be safe. Be well. Bless you all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bless you too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.